Hi everyone, this is David Zobel. We're going to take a look at how to draw some more monsters again. Today we're looking at drawing a monster in a profile view, so looking from the side and some different things with that, and then we'll kind of finish out with a very specific monster. So let's get into that. All right, so if you look here, I don't have anything right now, but what we're going to look at is the idea if I had a monster, right? So let's just draw this circle. And so profile. So the monster is looking right that way. So if I want to draw some eyes on this and I draw them here, if it was really the monster and they were really like on the side of the face, I wouldn't see the other eye, right? So if I did this, maybe there's the nose that's here and we get something that looks crazy like that. We could draw some feet. Right? But what I like to do, just as a way of doing is I like to see that other eye. I feel like that eye completely on the side gives it not a lot of personality. So if you draw that eye a little bit closer, it allows me to put the other eye kind of coming out from the side, right? And you see where I draw the, the pupil is kind of off to the side because that's kind of where it would be. We would see it. And then that allows me to add whatever I like. And there's some now personality. We're going to make it maybe walking. Maybe there's now a tail. Maybe we got some hair going on, right? So now you can see it had some depth to that. And you can really do that kind of with any shape that's there. So let's take more of a box shape. And I'm going to say, all right, well, let's do something that's like this. Let's give it some teeth. So let's do this kind of mushy eye that I like to do. And you can see now I can put it there, right? We could have that as the face, but I like to kind of draw stubby legs. So that's what we're going to kind of do here. And you can see that's a very kind of easy way to start drawing out that monster. So let's do, right? So I'm going to start this shape. I've drawn this guy before. Right, and so there we have this idea of this side view. Now, I draw these eyes. I'm going to draw this a little bit bigger. I do these eyes a lot, right? They're kind of these, what I call mushy eyes. And I could just sit and draw these because I find them just endlessly fascinating to kind of draw, right? So if there was two, there'd be the other one here, right? So we have those kind of eyes like that. So the way we get those is, right, we draw this kind of semicircle that's there. Let's kind of start to that. And then what we do is from there, we go up, make one bump, and we move in a little bit to make the second one. And we do that, and we do that. And then we continue that eye, and we draw this. Now, you could do that. You can make less of a shape and make it more like this. And I could draw three, right, just moving in. I could also make it look like it's more closed, right? That has a different, more of a sleepy eye. I could also do this and make it rounder, right? So there's lots of ways that we can do this. You can also have two, right? I'll do this sometimes, two sides to it. And now you have more of this kind of bulging eye that's there. So really kind of experiment with how you want to do those eyes. Some of you may look and say, you know what, I just want to do an eye that's like that, and that's completely fine. Some of you may say, you know what, I just want to do a regular eye that's just this. Or you may decide, maybe I want something that's a little bit rounder, right? That's up to you. The fascinating thing is we can take this now, right? And we could, if we drop the eyelid and put the eye here, all of a sudden your character takes on a completely different look than if you had it up higher, right? Okay, so what we're going to take a look at, we're going to take a look at this monster here. This is just kind of my base sketch for what we want to do. So let's just kind of break this monster down a little bit, and I'm going to draw right next to it. So it's really based on this rectangle shape, right? What we have is, I'm going to draw this two ways, one with the eyes at the top and one with the eyes kind of in the body itself. So I have the mouth, and what I like to do is we'll just draw just a little bit outside of that shape, and that is then the mouth, Let's make it a little bit open, right? We can do something like that. Where the feet gonna go. So I like to draw this. This is kind of where the feet meet, right? So maybe something like this. Let's do a bow, right? Real easy, just kind of a circle and two kind of not completely filled circles that are there. So if we really look at this and I completed the circle, you can see it's just 3 circles in varying sizes. So it would be something like this, except if I went to go then ink it, I wouldn't ink those circles all the way around, right? So now we have this. And so if you did the eyes here, right, we could do something like that. And something like that. And there we have your monster. In this case, I'm going to draw them with the eyes kind of off to the side. So again, you start with that same kind of concept, right? And this time I'm actually going to draw the hair first so I know where to place everything. And you can see it's just a couple of like little slashes. Let's draw where that bow is going to go. Let's draw those eyes. So this seems like a really small detail, but this one eye, like the part that's holding up the eye is kind of in front here, and this one sits behind the hair, right? It starts to give dimension. And then we'll do this. Make this a little bit longer. Let's make the hands. Right? And so there we go. Now what I'm going to do is go over it with my kind of like a finishing pen. So if this was like a pencil drawing, right? And so now I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here. There it goes. And we are going to do this out. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to draw this oval shape of the eyes. And you can see the program that I'm using allows me to draw really kind of specifically. But again, if you're just drawing pen and paper, like this is perfectly fine for you to draw something somewhat close to it. So let's draw this that's here, and let's draw that here. So you can just see it's just a series of these kind of like, I don't even know what you call them. It's almost like, I mean, it's almost like a triangle shape like this, right? And again, if you're following along with me, like you can make your own adjustments. If you feel like, no, I don't like that hair, I want to do something crazier, go for it. Right, we're gonna draw the eyes or the pupils here. And now we're gonna go through. Now look, I'm gonna make my adjustment here because if I drew the mouth here, it's in a weird alignment with the edge of that hair. So I'm just gonna come in, it'll make a better drawing. So we're gonna add a tooth here, and let's add a smaller one. And we're gonna give that so it looks like the mouth is open a little bit. We're gonna make those feet a little mushy, right? So again, I'm making these curves, the same thing with the eyes. I'm kind of going in and then out, right? So I make it in and then out. And you see how kind of that mushy feeling. And again, you don't have to do that. That's just stylistically where I like to be. And so then, right, we draw the toenails here. I like to just put 2, but again, like make this your own, right? Make all sorts of things in here your own. So let's just take a look at what I've drawn here. Got this character here looking pretty good. Now we're just gonna add in, right, we're gonna add in some details. So I may go in and do this with the hair, or maybe we kind of go in like that. So giving it a little bit more depth. Maybe we add a couple little things like that. Like you could even decide, I want to put eyebrows kind of above. Let's go in here. We'll just add a couple little dimensions here to make this even further mushy. You can see I'm just following there. they're called like these kind of contour lines, just to give some depth and detail. You know, maybe we want to add a couple little spots. Right? And there we go. And there's the monster. So if you followed along with me, right, we started with this rectangle, and you could do anything with these shapes if you feel like you want the hands to do something different, right? So do that, right? So if you're drawing a bend in the hands, drawing that kind of motion is kind of important to just see that, you know, there's a bend in the elbow. Where you could do something like that, right? That shows there's a division. It's showing this kind of crease that kind of happens. So you can really kind of play with how that is. If you decide, you know what, there's no joints, it's very kind of Adventure Time like, then go for that as well, right? So all this is it's kind of up to you to decide how this really goes, and that's really important. So hopefully you had fun drawing this monster, and I'll see you on the next draw.